everyone, welcome back to my channel. There has been a rumor going around that the Girl Scouts donate to Planned Parenthood. So I dug a little deeper to do some more in-depth research on the topic, and I thought it would be important to share with you that that is false. But as a Catholic, I cannot in good conscience support the Girl Scouts organization, so I wanted to share with you the reasons why. And I do have two alternatives if you want to have your daughters take part in similar organizations. So if this is something that you may be interested in, keep on watching. First, I wanted to begin with my story of how I came about thinking about this topic and why I'm sharing it with you today. So I heard maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that the Girl Scouts support Planned Parenthood, and so now as Catholics, as Christians, we should be boycotting the cookie sales. So there was this rumor going around that the sales of Girl Scout cookies went directly to that organization, which for obvious reasons, as a Catholic, we cannot support the largest provider of abortions in the world, and also a company that is adamantly against our values and morals as Christians. And although I wasn't all that surprised to hear that news, because it seems like many organizations are headed in that direction, I was very sad. And one day I was thinking more about the topic and I thought, wow, I can't believe Girl Scouts would support this. This is a group that's supposed to be empowering to girls and to motivate them, teach them, inspire them to grow up to be women of, strength and integrity. And I was surprised. So I went onto the Girl Scout website because I was curious what they had to say about all this. So I went straight to the source on the Girl Scouts website. And thankfully, they have an FAQ page with all of the frequently asked questions. So I'm going through reading some things, and it explicitly talks about the connection between Planned Parenthood. The question is, does Girl Scouts USA have a relationship with Planned Parenthood? And Girl Scout responds, no. Girl Scouts of the USA does not have a relationship or partnership with Planned Parenthood. Wow, that's a relief, right? So the next question was, did Girl Scouts USA distribute a Planned Parenthood brochure at a United Nations event? Here's their response. No, we did not. They go on to say that this involvement was misconstrued and they played no role in this. They did not hand out a brochure, and it was an inaccurate rumor being spread around the internet. I even found a section where they directly talk about their relationship with the Catholic Church. And when you click to see the relationship with the Catholic Church, there's a picture of Pope Francis shaking the hands of someone I assume is a Girl Scout. And it goes on to say the Girl Scouts is proud of its 100-year relationship with the Catholic Church, and that the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops has resources and Q&As about Girl Scouts on their website. And of course, you can feel free to read up on all of this on your own, but even going through to the resource given on the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops guide, they again reiterate that there is no connection between Planned Parenthood and the Girl Scouts. However, they do acknowledge that at a local level, it could happen where a local troop may end up with some sort of affiliation, but then they acknowledge that in the same way, at the local level, you could have a group that is more authentically Catholic in their teaching. So I get it. Girl Scouts is a secular group, and the same way that you could have a troop that has leaders who are Catholic or Christian and they're teaching those values, you could have people who do other things at the local level. So after reading up on those things, I thought, all right, here we go. People are being extremely sensitive and overreacting to all of this. So from there on, I thought, well, great. They have a good relationship with the Catholic Church. There must have been a local group who somehow managed to get involved. As long as your child is in a group that is attached to some sort of community that shares your same values, there shouldn't be any issue. But even so, something about all of this didn't quite sit right with me. And the conclusion that I came to is that while Girl Scouts does not have any kind of direct affiliation or direct support of the organization Planned Parenthood. Unfortunately, they do have indirect support, not just of Planned Parenthood, but of other organizations and values that contradict Catholic Church teaching. The Girl Scouts promote and celebrate many political candidates who have strong opinions on abortion and women's rights issues that contradict our faith. Many of the more localized groups around the country encouraged the participation in women's marches. And as I've scrolled through some of their social media accounts, one common theme that I often see is this girl power, this girl agenda, as they use this hashtag quite frequently. And while that may sound nice and cutesy, it's hard for me to vocalize, but it's almost encouraging this women's rights activism, which in some respects is not a terrible thing. I mean, as a woman, I celebrate the freedoms that I have. I appreciate that I have the right to vote. And there are so many freedoms that have been fought for me as a woman, and I appreciate it. I'm proud of it. I think they are important things to stand up for, but we're at a point right now where it is getting carried way too far. And instead of saying, oh, how great, women have a voice. They can achieve their goals and dreams. They have dignity, and we have options, and we can gain a college education if we desire it. Instead of being thankful and happy that we accomplished the main goal that these people in history achieved for us, it was taken so far that we've lost sight of our womanhood and femininity. And now, instead of just having rights and being treated with dignity and respect, what people are considering to be women's rights is just the opposite. They want to be better than men. It's not enough that we can be equal. They have to be better than. A lot of it is the my body, my choice philosophy, and all of these things that sound nice and cute, but they are incredibly destructive and harmful to women. And they destroy, instead of empowering women, they destroy it. They destroy our dignity, our worth, our value. And so I don't want to be a part of anything that is going to try to make girls be portrayed as better than boys, or to have this arrogance about them. I just want people to be treated equally with respect and dignity. Not less than, better than, not overcompensating for maybe the way things were in the past. And so that's the reason it just doesn't sit right with me. Believe it or not, there is something that is even more troubling to me than a potential affiliation with Planned Parenthood. There was an event in 2018 called the Teen Vogue Summit, and on its website it shares that it is everything you love about Teen Vogue brought to life. Teen Vogue sounds harmless, right? Good magazine for young girls. So if you end up on this Teen Vogue Summit website, one of the participating partners is Girl Scouts. So my guess is that if the Girl Scouts is a partner of the Teen Vogue Summit, they must support Teen Vogue and their mission. If you haven't researched this, it sounds harmless. Let me read you a few things about Teen Vogue. So these are straight from their very own website, okay? First, we'll start with Teen Vogue's Instagram. A picture here that they posted, and it says, little ears warning, by the way, from this point on in this video. Sex worker rights are a feminist issue. And then in the caption, it says, say it with us. Sex work is real work. And then encourages you to read the link in their bio from a doctor speaking about why sex work should be decriminalized across the globe. In February of 2017, Teen Vogue came out with an article that had gift suggestions on things that you could get a friend post-abortion. They have many articles, very outspoken about their opinion, and this is a magazine geared toward teenagers. Both on their website and social media accounts, they constantly say things about how any regret about having an abortion is a myth. And then in the caption goes on to say how it is an essential part of women's health care, and they have an article about the myths and whatnot. And again, they celebrate political candidates who are outspoken about topics that we as Catholics cannot celebrate or condone. And we're not talking hundreds of partners listed on this website. There were a handful. If Girl Scouts supports Teen Vogue, and we know Girl Scouts, they're very careful and very selective about their wordage and their support. They know that they cannot hand over a check to Planned Parenthood because there would be an uproar from many people who love the Girl Scouts and have a connection to the Girl Scouts and believe in many of their good ideas. They're not all bad, but they certainly have an agenda. They're really not even that secretive about it. They just make it sound cute and friendly. #girl agenda. And so, no, they do not hand over direct funds, but very carefully, underhandedly, secretively, they are fueling those mentalities, that agenda, and they are encouraging young girls to look up to role models who believe in these things. This is all very difficult to speak about, but as a parent, not enough people know about this, are talking about this, or have accurate information on it, and especially when they're doing things so underhandedly and secretively, it's hard to find out the truth and to know who to trust. I was in Brownies, which was kind of the younger age for Girl Scouts. I sold the cookies that year and everything. So it is disappointing to think that this is the direction this organization is going. I don't want it to be this way. I want to like them. I think it's great for young girls to learn skills that can help them throughout their life. But this organization does not seem to be in line with the values that I have as a Catholic. As of right now, there are 2 alternatives that I know of that are great options for you if you have a young girl who is interested in Girl Scouts, but you don't want to support this type of organization. So the first one is called Little Flower Girls Club, and it is based upon Saint Therese, hence Little Flower, and my stepdaughter was part of it for a year, but then things got busy, and that's the only reason we didn't do it again, but it was a great thing. It is rooted in Catholic faith, and it's a great option for girls, very similar. Another one is called American Heritage Girls, and I just recently interviewed somebody who is part of it, so I will hopefully have that interview up in the next few days here so you can hear from somebody who is part of American Heritage Girls. So it's same type of premise, only it is faith-based, and so I think that that is a preferred option if your daughter is wanting to connect to a group of girls and be involved in something similar, but you don't want to sacrifice or risk your daughter being taught things that contradict your faith. One final thought. Despite the fact that the Girl Scouts of America has decided not to take any type of official position when it comes to abortion and birth control, those sorts of topics, isn't it peculiar that the same organization that is encouraging girls to raise their voice, to speak up for what's right, to become empowered, they're silent on such an important issue that matters so much? And in that case, silence speaks just as loud as words. If you're truly pro-women, you care about their health, denying our right to reproductive health, brainwashing young girls to be a part of your political agenda, underhandedly trying to come across as not taking a stance and being a neutral party when you have this huge, strong agenda secretly attached to your organization. That's terrifying to me, and I don't want to be a part of that. And I don't want to contribute to anything that supports that stuff. So those are my thoughts as a mom with faith-based values and who respects the dignity of human life, who wants women to feel authentically and truly empowered, not this fake empowerment stuff that isn't even empowering at the end of the day. It crushes the mental health and stability and wellness of women. No, I'm praying for you, your daughters, friends, family, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.